What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be answering 15 of the top questions I get asked about freelance brand scaling. And if you're unfamiliar with what freelance brand scaling is, essentially I'm running advertisements for clothing brands, taking a percentage of what I help generate them, in addition to SMS lists, email lists, website design, product, you get the idea. Alright, question number 1. How do I find brands that aren't already huge? One of the first things I would do would be seasoning my algorithm to only show me clothing brands, and specifically clothing brands of that stature, that size. Easiest way to do that is going to be going on TikTok, creating a brand new account, and just liking things under the hashtag clothing brand, under the hashtag clothing brand owner. Engage with those hashtags, engage with clothing brands, follow them, and then suddenly overnight your entire For You page on TikTok is a bunch of potential clients that you could reach out to. Question number 2. When I get my first brand, how much do I spend? That's completely depending on the brand, and assuming this is your first ever client, you shouldn't be spending more than like $200-300 bucks a month on ads until you start seeing growth, and then you move from there. Question number 3 is, am I too late to get started? No. At this current point in time, you stumbled upon this video and I'm pretty much willing to guarantee it has less than 2,000 views. And that just goes to show how few people are doing this, how few people are posting, how few people there are in the niche, in the space. It's a perfect time to start, and it's only going to become less and less perfect as time goes on and it becomes more saturated. So I would jump on the opportunity while the ship is here. Question number 4 is, do you spend your money or the clothing brand's money? You spend the clothing brand's money. Otherwise, you'd be what's called a bank, and you'd be loaning money to your clients. That way they can spend it on their ads. Even if you're the one spending it, you'd be fronting the capital, so it just wouldn't really make sense. You spend the client's money, and then they receive the profits, and then you invoice them at the end of that term, whether it's the drop, whether it's the end of the month, whatever it may be. Question number 5 is, do you sell a course? Currently, no, I don't sell any info products, but come January, yes, I've been building out a whole full-fledged course. It's just gonna teach you everything you need to know about freelance brand scaling and then being really fucking good at freelance brand scaling. Question number 6, do you advertise anything other than clothing? I personally don't. Clothing has been, my most successful niche. I've reached out to other products, but I personally haven't found any success. That does not mean that you can't find any success. I preach this to my students all the time, that just because I'm doing clothing doesn't mean that you have to be doing clothing. Running ads and learning how to scale a business is a pretty lucrative skill that you can apply to absolutely any business. Everybody needs to run ads, everybody needs to market, everybody needs someone that's good at what they do. Instead of taking 10% of the revenue generated by the ads for a clothing brand, you could be charging a $2,000 a month retainer for a mom and pop restaurant that you drive traffic into the door, you drive traffic to their website, I don't know. Whatever it may be, it's just a pretty lucrative skill. It's universally applicable to like any business. So I personally just do clothing brands, but that shouldn't stop you from testing the waters and making yourself richer than I am. Question number 7 is, can I learn for free? The answer is yes, YouTube is your best friend. Although this is a pretty niche subject and it's kind of hard to find, like specific tutorials, YouTube's your best friend, Google's your best friend, everything's right in front of you. I would highly suggest purchasing some sort of like mentorship, community, something, so that way you have someone who can actually teach you, who knows what they're doing, they can answer your questions. I'm not saying that has to be me. I do have a paid mentorship if you'd be interested. Links in the description. But nonetheless, there's plenty of people to learn from that do it, and I do highly suggest getting some sort of mentorship so that way you can get off your feet. Question number 8 is, I want to run ads for my EP dropping in January. Is that the same thing? Like I said earlier in the video, the exact same thing. You're just not specifically targeting purchases. You'd be targeting traffic. You'd be, trying to drive people to Spotify to stream your song, save your song. It's the exact same skill though, especially if you want to apply it in a sense of selling it to other people. That's really what, freelance brand scaling is. That's what I teach. That's what everybody else teaches. Question number 9 is, do you know Brez Scales? Not personally, but of course I know who Brez Scales is. He's fucking sick. I'd love to, sit down and meet him someday. But super dope dude, does exactly what I do. Super sick videos, definitely go check him out. Question number 10 is, why don't you work with brands doing under 15K a month in revenue? I personally don't, just because I don't feel it's worth my time. I feel that somebody else could go get that client and make themselves a good bit of money, but I'm just personally not interested in working with any clients that are gonna be paying me anywhere like under $2,000 a month. I just don't personally think it's worth my time, and you know, somebody else could go get that client and make themselves some good money. So not my place, that one's for y'all, that one's for the dogs. Question number 11, can I start a brand strictly off Facebook ads? Yes, it's possible, but is it a good idea? Not really. I say this all the time, but the ads can only be as good as the other systems that you have in place. So running a brand strictly off of Facebook ads, you're just gonna burn a shit ton of capital. You're not gonna have anyone to really market to, and you're going to be hitting the most cold form of targeting. You have a free platform to advertise on right in front of you called Instagram and TikTok. I would utilize both of those, build some natural buzz, and then step into the ads manager and back them with some money. So yes, it's possible, but I would definitely rely on some organic traffic first. Question number 12 is, I want to start a clothing brand but have no idea what manufacturers to use. You're in luck, buddy boy, because I'm now selling my manufacturer list that I compiled with 2 of the 8-figure brands that I work with, of the best manufacturers you could possibly find, so that way you don't have to do all the digging and worry less about shitty product. Purchase link in the description. Question number 13 is your course better than Brez's course? Again, I don't have a course right now, nor do I know anything about Brez's course. I'd like to assume it's probably pretty good and probably a decent investment. I've just never personally looked into it, and I don't have one currently. But come January, I will. So if you're seeing this video in the future, check the description, because odds are my paid course and community are probably live now. So check the description, but if you don't see anything about that, join the free Telegram. Next best thing. Question number 14 is, I'm 15 years old with no money. How can I start? I started with no money. Everybody starts with no money. But being 15 years old, you have something that not a lot of people have, and that's called time. Fuck whatever they're teaching you in school. This will make you rich. Pay attention. Read books on sales, learn how to manipulate people, and learn consumer psychology. After that, YouTube will be your best friend, so just start learning and then throw yourself in the deep end and learn how to swim. And question number 15 is, what's a better business model? Crypto or freelance brand scaling? I personally would say they're not comparable, and you sound like you're trying to get rich quick, and I would find something you genuinely enjoy before you invest all of your time into it. That's still gonna have you in the exact same position in 6 months, because it's not a get rich quick scheme, and this does not happen overnight. Doesn't happen overnight with day trading, any of this, it takes time. It's taken me well over a year to get to where I am now, but you gotta enjoy the journey, you gotta enjoy the climb. With that being said, that is 15 of the top questions I get asked about freelance brand scaling on a daily basis. If you guys found this helpful or feel like you learned something, definitely check out the other videos on my channel. I provide a lot of insight here. There's also a free Telegram link in the description. Make sure you fill that out. As always, boys, it's been a fucking pleasure, and I will talk to you guys fucking sometime soon, probably next week. Adios fucking os, gangsters.